We are recording.
Wow.
Woo! Here we are today. What do we got, Matt? We're back. And we got a special guest today, too, don't we?
Yeah, a little hiatus, and brought a special guest back from the dead.
Back from the
Trey.
It's amazing. It took a real good shaman to get me back.
Trey,
I'm here.
How did you survive that fish bite?
It was pretty painful, you know. Had some good doctors, a good team, medical professionals that, it took a lot of
I'm disappointed
antibiotics.
that you just survived and that you're not a ghost or phantom or ghoul or goblin.
No, this is real me, real Trey, in the flesh.
Real Trey in the flesh.
All right.
And
well, maybe next time.
We've also got another major update. The long-term host of this show, Matt Miller, has had a change of location. You may have noticed that his voice is quite muffled.
Yeah,
quite
calling
digital
in
sounding.
Internationally from España.
España.
Madrid. So, yeah, it's been a little while, but we're going to try to do this video call for this new episode. Our favorite concerts. Well, just concerts.
Not
in
favorite
general,
concerts. Yeah, I would say just all concerts, shows,
live music
acts,
experiences.
live music experiences that we've ever had, and quite a few of them we have shared together. I think it'll be interesting to see our timeline here and see how much we remember and when they converge and diverge, and
it's going to be really funny.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it right off the bat. Definitely the haziest year of my life is sophomore year of college. I have no idea what shows we went to, if any.
And putting them in we went in that month, but was this one before or after? And was that even the same year?
So Riley and I this morning.
We'll get into it. But we should talk about the beers first, since this is the internet's best
music
and
beer podcast.
It's true.
What are you guys drinking?
So Trey and I both got a couple growlers this is not a sponsorship, but we went down to the Daily Growl here in Columbus, Ohio. We've had a change of location. It's right down the street from us in beautiful German Village, Ohio. And I got a growler of Jackie O's Java the Stout, and it's a delicious Java Stout. If you couldn't guess by the name, very tasty. I'm not. It's now that it's getting colder out. I've been enjoying the the darker beers, the stouts, and the coffee tasting ones, and it's a good one. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. I picked up a Columbus Brewing beer that was sponsored by the ALS campaign. So a few breweries got to do this, and it's called the Columbus Ales for ALS, and they had a special selection of hops and different things that they gave to different breweries to make an IPA. So I'm trying CBC's, and it's pretty good. It tastes pretty similar to their regular Columbus IPA, but it's for a good cost. So
drink do you notice
tastes
any
even
difference
better
compared to the regular CBC IPA?
It's fairly similar, I'd have to say. I can't really pick apart the exact differences.
Matt,
I have a beer from Barcelona, actually.
Ooh.
It's a double IPA called Z List. It's
Z,
super
like
fresh.
Zed?
Zed, yes.
Okay.
Zed List. There's a sheep on front. That's the picture on the can. It's pretty sweet. It's interesting here. They list all the ingredients. So they list all the malts they use.
Oh, damn.
All the hops.
Is that a Spanish thing, or is that just a...
I think it might be a law in Spain or something. But it's from Garage Beer Company. This one came highly recommended by the woman at the beer shop. And she told me in English, or otherwise I would have no idea what she was saying.
Is the craft beer scene in Spain as big as the United States one?
No, it's tiny. There's only maybe 3 shops in all Madrid that actually sell craft beer. Oh, wow. And no bars really have craft beer. It's actually super annoying.
What do they drink there?
Just shitty regular beer. I don't even know what the main one is.
Okay.
Heineken is the main beer here.
Yeah.
They got Bud Light on tap?
They don't even have American cheap adjunct lagers. They just have Heineken and these other super cheap beers. It's really, and wine. Everyone drinks wine here, and I guess that's why. Whatever, I'm about to get heated over this.
Well, that's why we're the #1 beer podcast. We haven't really had this. That's interesting. Like, we've never had that kind of like, I didn't know about beer outside of the United States. And I looked up. I was like, yeah, Matt's in Spain. We should get some Spanish beer to drink. And I looked up like the top 10 popular Spanish beers on Google, and had never heard of a single one. And they're not around at all.
It's super disappointing. But to tie it into live shows, when I see the Menzingers in Germany, maybe they'll have some good beers in Germany.
You know, I think they might have some good beers in Germany.
Yeah, no.
I hope so.
I don't know if the
but
craft
anyways,
beer though.
This one is good though. This Z-List double IPA is good. So the ones that they do have are good at least.
All right, all of our Spanish listeners, go out there and get it.
Should we do like a translation? Do this entire thing in Spanish for our Spanish listeners?
That'd be a good homework.
Bienvenidos.
All right, so I guess that concludes the beer segment of our podcast.
Yeah, let's talk concerts.
Let's talk concerts.
Let's get into the timeline.
Yeah.
So like,
should we do pre-college first, and then like we kind of each tell our pre-college tale, and then
both of you guys tell me. So what was like your first concert experience, first live show?
Yeah, that was an easy one for me. I know Trey had some difficulty even remembering it, but for me, really? I specifically, I guess I'll give some context where I don't know if my parents, like my dad, didn't like me going to live shows, or if he thought I was too young to start going. But I like didn't really go to any in like junior high and throughout most of high school at all. Mainly because of that, and because like a lot of my friends didn't like music as much as I did, and I didn't hang out with people who liked music that much. So it was not a huge part of my life. Live music wasn't.
Yeah.
It was mainly listening on Pandora or CDs or whatever. So I was really ecstatic when my dad did take me to my first show. I think it was my 8th grade year of junior high, and we went and saw a bluegrass legend, Doc Watson, old ass dude. I don't know if he was in his 80s at the time, blind, but Duke can shred on guitar. I had grown up listening to a lot of his music. My grandpa was a huge bluegrass dude, so I grew up listening to this guy. I knew all of his like songs, and it was just a kind of an experience to see him in Louisville, Kentucky, in this nice little theater, and see a legitimate legend of music perform.
That's sweet. And were you like hooked? You're like, yes, this is the way to experience music, or was it?
No, I didn't. I didn't. It was cool, but I didn't quite love seeing live music as much as I would grow into loving it at that moment. Like, it was cool to see. It's cool to be hanging out like with my dad in an interesting city that I'd never been to, and but that was kind of like as critical as I got of it. Essentially, that's as far as it went. And
but you didn't go to many shows like throughout high school.
Yeah, throughout high school. After that, the next one was the next show I went to was literally that is notable. Like, I saw some people play shitty bands, like their high school bands play and stuff in various.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that.
in different like venues around Cincinnati, but like the next actual notable headline band wasn't until freshman year of college for me. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of my first and only pre-college live show experience, which is kind of, if you know me now, it probably seems a little.
That is strange.
Very different.
Yeah, it is strange.
But yeah, I mean, I loved music, but just didn't see it live often.
Yeah, Trey, you go.
Oh man, so when I was in high school, I guess I should start with like my first concert. That was probably my first like major concert that I went to was in 2008. I saw Flight of the Conchords at the Schottenstein Center, and
08?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was like my first, like, you go into like this arena, like tons of people, big crowd, like, you have like the big monitors on the side of the stage, and that was just a crazy experience, even though it wasn't for like, I don't know, Flight of the Conchords are a comedy group, that it's not really just like music, But so that was like my first experience doing that. Other than that, there were like smaller shows around like where I grew up in Fredericktown, and like there were a bunch of high school bands that like used to play around.
Dude, what was the name of the high school band that you played for me that one time?
That I played for? I was never in high school.
Yeah, they were really good.
No. The one that I went to a lot, 7-Story Coalition. It was like a bunch of my friends from high school. They played at this like little. It was like a church-run community center thing for teens, and they had like a little. They had. It's exactly what you imagine. Like, you walk in. There's kids with like fingerless gloves and black like outfits on and stuff. And
what was that? What was like the biggest the biggest kind of punk rock Christian band? What was their name?
The biggest punk rock Christian band?
Or like rock and roll Christian band.
So I should say that so in Fredericktown we had this festival, this music festival. It was called Rock Fest, ROCC, and it was one of the local churches. They put a bunch of money together and they got like huge names to come. Like the headliner was Devil Wears Prada, playing in this tiny little
that's insane
town. We have like 3 stoplights, so like it's a small little town and just these. Huge massive conservative people come together and then just witnessing Devil Wears Prada like on a huge stage, and that was just kind of mind blowing to me because I didn't think that people from my town would listen to like screamo Christian rock, and so like that was kind of just high school.
Yeah, that's what. Like I also had a similar experience because I would go see like my friend's band like at the local places, but then like our band would also play like some of the local places, so that was a lot of. But Trey, did you go to like Warped Tour in high school?
I did. Which
ones did you go to?
I went to let's see, I went to Cincinnati in 2008, and then 2007.
Okay, I went to Detroit in 2008.
2007 I went to Cleveland, I believe.
Nice.
Or Cuyahoga Falls.
Dude,
was it at Blossom?
Yeah.
It was at Blossom? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, was that Blossom? Yeah, that was actually... So Blossom's where I think I saw my first concert, which was Project Revolution Tour. Shouts out to Phil for taking me. It was... The headliner was Linkin Park, and we also saw Taking Back Sunday and My Chemical Romance. I think that was my first concert experience.
Matt
and
Wins.
That was the shit, dude.
Yeah.
That was the best. That's like... That set up everything for the rest of my life, I think.
Yeah, man. Linkin Park, was that so, like... Had they just dropped Meteor at that point?
Like, they were at, like, the absolute peak. I think that it was basically, like, the peak of their popularity, pretty much.
Wasn't that Minutes to Midnight, though? During that time?
Yeah. Linkin Park was the headliner. They were huge. Minutes to Midnight, and My Chemical Romance had just came out with the Black Parade, so they were also huge at the time.
Yeah.
Like, that was like a crazy show to see. But dude, at Warped Tour 2008, there was like we saw like 303, Motion City Soundtrack, Angels and Airwaves was like the headliner, and dude, it was also when Katy Perry was like nobody. And she was at Warped Tour and like blew up. But anyway, so that was like my pre-college concert experience.
Well, did you go to lots of Warped Tours after? I was like,
no, I only went to one.
I had the option to go to Warped Tour, but I was like a contrarian little like prick, and I was like, it's not cool. I don't want to go. I kind of wish I would have gone at this point now.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like that was the first like punk thing that I'd ever really gone to, and like walking around with like kids like our age, and there were people like there was like a half pipe and like skaters, and I was like, these are my people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you're getting into concerts, like kind of like festival like that is like a crazy experience.
Does Warped Tour is still going on? Correct?
Yeah, it's still going. I don't know who plays there.
Yeah, it's like what are the bands? Because I know they're like festivals are now huge. Like there's a million different festivals you can go to in the summer. Like Warped Tour doesn't like have the have cornered the market on that like anymore. So,
I think they still focus on like rock music type stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm talking out of my ass. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I just looked up for 2017. I recognize almost nobody.
Yeah.
The only notable one that I can see is Bowling for Soup.
Oh, and that's kind of sad because they were like headlining back when we were like in junior high and high school and stuff.
That is sad. Okay, but so if we fast forward to college, though, I think we all experienced Weezer, right? That was like the main one.
Matt and I were both at Weezer. Yeah, so for our listeners, we all converged at this point. We all met each other very early on freshman year, and Weezer was the free concert that OSU put on, which they kind of blew their load at that point because they didn't have another cool one after that. But but it was sick to have Weezer right. It was and for me and Matt, it was right. It was in front of our dorm room. Like we just walked out and Weezer was like in our front door. It was sick.
That was an incredible concert too.
Yeah, and
it was so good. Trey, did you go?
I did not. I was not there that evening.
Trey,
dude, that was wild.
Yeah, and I know like I grew up listening to Weezer and loving like the Blue album, and the Green album. Not even though at this point I have less fond thoughts about the Green album, but like the Blue album was like a formative album for me, and to actually get to see Weezer for in quotation marks free was pretty awesome. Like, and we just because it was so close to our dorm, we could just kind of walk out and squeeze into like the front row essentially. And
that was an excellent free concert.
And they played all of like the hits. They played some of the newer stuff. I remember
what album was like the newest one? Then?
It was probably Hurley or like the Red album. I can't remember what it was still in the point where they hadn't made a good album in a little while. But I remember like Rivers put on like a blonde wig and started singing like Lady Gaga, and then was like crowd surfing around, and like someone put him up on top of a porta potty, like, and I was like, this, and keep in mind, like, this is our first week in college, and I was like, this is life now. This is awesome. And then life eventually crushed that expectation. But like for the brief moment in time, that was like the best, and like just such an experience that you would not have had outside of like leaving your home and going off to some. At the time,
dude, where would you like, just off the top of your head, where would you rank that Weezer concert of like your favorite concert?
Favorites or like
just favorites? Like, is it in like your top 5 or top 10?
I would probably put it in top 10. I haven't actually ranked. That's a funny thing. I haven't tried to rank them, even though I do know my favorites. I would definitely put.
I didn't try ranking either, but
I'd definitely put in the top 10 though, and I've got a list of like over 30 here, so.
Yeah, I definitely put it in the top 10 too, and I think I have 40 on my list right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was awesome show. But okay, so was the first show that we all went to Skrillex?
Yes. Yeah. All right. And I was about to say I have back-to-back Skrillex concerts actually. So.
Oh yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I think the next one we all went to, which is hilarious. To think about us going to Skrillex, but we went. There was another college-ass thing to do at the time.
Dubstep was all the rage.
Dubstep, yeah. Well, let's take a little time capsule back to 2010, and let's actually take a little meander here to talk about dubstep for a little bit. What was your first experience of dubstep?
Dude, I think it was just like in the dorm. I don't know who played it first. Probably like
Encore and Hume's room.
Was it Preston or Hume? Just like, guys, listen to this. And it's like, whoa, what is that, dude? And
for me, I was at a party with the guys on the volleyball team who lived on our floor, and they were at like the upperclassmen volleyball player's house, and someone put that on, and I had never heard it before. I was like, what the hell is this music? And then they all proceeded to smash everything in their living room. Like, they broke light bulbs that were plugged into the ceiling, like, and smashed, and started like sort of smashing box fans and stuff. And I was like, this is insane. Like, this is literal insanity distilled into like a musical form. And that like blew my mind.
That sounds like a skit. That's kind of like unreal. Like
it like overcame them, and they were like had a out of body experience. They're just smashing everything. Like,
and dubstep lasted what, like 2 years,
6 months,
or something like that.
Yeah, at least probably on our radar, like
Yeah.
Probably by the end of the year, I wasn't listening to dubstep very much.
Well, like, okay, I don't want to get like too much into this, but like historically, has like any other genre ever been so short-lived as a thing? It went from like mass
people still listen to it,
popularity
but it's
to
not.
Yeah, people
like,
still maybe
no
I
one
don't know
listens,
like what's it called, vaporwave? I don't know.
Vaporwave still
I guess.
like
Yeah.
fairly popular, I'd say.
Yeah. But then also outside of like the college or like kids scene, like young kids scene, like did many people even know what dubstep was?
I can't imagine my grandmother turning
My
on the
dad
radio and just getting down to some dubstep.
And like Key and Peele had a whole skit on it on like
It sounds like your party.
yeah.
Yeah. It just got it got significantly popular, I think, for a minute,
Yeah.
but then just like tail dived after that.
I think it was because it was a
crazy.
little one note, essentially. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. People were just making the same song over and over again.
yeah.
What else did we go to freshman year?
So for me, I have Skrillex, and then I said Skrillex again because I don't think. So correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think, at least I didn't go into anything between Skrillex the first time and then Skrillex when they were the next free show in the South Oval. Maybe Matt or Trey, you have something in between there, but for me, that was the only one I could
go
remember.
to Starfucker. Was that freshman or sophomore year?
That was sophomore year, and that's the one that I have right after Skrillex again.
Okay.
Yeah, that
I
was
have
in April of
Lupe
2012.
Fiasco. I went to that show at the end of freshman year with you. We were there for like 10 minutes, and then the show was over. We got there so late, and it was raining. It was terrible. It's not even worth mentioning.
Was it outside?
Yeah, it was out. It was at Express Live.
Okay.
Yeah, not very notable. It was a fiasco, you might say.
Ooh. I would say that, and I do say that all the time.
I think
Dude,
the only
but then when we saw Skrillex again, it like sucked.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was bad.
The
Who was
second-
the other band that was, playing with him?
Mac DeMarco?
Oh,
Mac
Miller. It was
Miller.
Mac Miller.
Yeah,
That's what
Mac
his name
Miller.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he came out like 2 hours late, and it was all muddy in the shitty fields, and nobody wanted to really be there. I don't know. It was not as good as we remembered Skrillex being the first time, which I should say, like Skrillex, it was like just right before Skrillex and dubstep became huge, like we were saying. So like it was a rather small venue for him and for us to see him at.
It was like a couple hundred maybe or something.
Yeah,
like,
that sounds about right.
relatively
But
small.
we were all packed in like sardines,
Shoulder to shoulder,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think that's like a theme that we could trace along across like this conversation is like the smaller and more intimate the show, the better usually.
Oh, most
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't like the big arena shows. I don't really seek them out too often.
Yeah, if we skip to like the future, like I don't even like arena shows like at all pretty much anymore.
You can barely
I
see
was
the
think-
stage unless you're close enough to. I mean, if you pay for the good seats, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, even then it's just like you're not really like part of like the experience as much. But I was thinking about it, the only shows that I really see anymore that are like big like venues or like stadium shows are rap concerts, like hip hop. Like I saw Kanye, Kendrick,
Oh, I totally forgot Kanye.
Chance the Rapper.
I forgot to write down.
Yeah, gotta add that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like those are the only like stadium shows that I see anymore, and I don't
Yeah.
like outside of those three rappers that I've already seen, I don't care too
So
much.
I do have to say though, a way that an arena show can make itself excellent, a la Kanye, make it an art experience. Make it like
Yeah.
a visual feast that you would not be able to see anywhere else. If you go to like a huge arena show and they just play the song, they just are a band on a stage playing music and nothing else happening. Yeah, you don't feel connected or like engaged at all. At least I don't. But if it's
Yeah.
like in the example of the Kanye West show, it's like there's these insane like lasers going on, and he's flying around on essentially a magic carpet stage, like above this like pit of people with this spotlight beaming down on just a fraction of like who's ever underneath the thing, and they're all going nuts. Like that is special, and that's like that makes going to like a big arena show with tens of thousands of other people worth it and interesting. But if you're just at a huge arena show and like Metallica is, I don't know why I say Metallica, but like a band is just there playing music and
just on stage,
like just like any other show, but just with a bunch of other people, it's not as cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
100% agree.
Because I had actually forgotten about this concert. I didn't have it on my list, but I went to see Arcade Fire when Reflector came out at the Schottenstein Center, and they did just that. There was things going on all the time, little characters coming out during songs, walking around. I distinctly remember this person dressed in a suit made of mirrors that they kept shining lasers at and different lights at, and like this person like walked up through the middle of the crowd and was just like kind of dancing like slowly and turning around like a human disco ball, and like that just draws your attention and it makes the experience more worthwhile.
You get that more than like if they're just playing the music, I'll just stay at home and listen to the album. But like you don't get the art side of the thing if you're just doing that. Yeah,
it has to be part of something bigger, like a more artistic like experience for sure.
Yep.
Dude, so the next one on your list is Starfucker then at Kenyon College.
Starfucker at Kenyon.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I don't think we were supposed to be there, but we were.
No, absolutely not. You had to have your friend get us student passes.
Yeah, I had my friend Woody. Had to like finagle his way through like the student services facility and like get us
guest passes,
and that was like the guy didn't want to give us any guest passes. It was kind of I remember we went and then like I thought it was just gonna be us, but then like a bunch of your friends ended up coming too, and we had like 20 people that Woody had to like get in, and I felt bad after that because I was like, I told him it was just gonna be like you, me, and Matt and Encore and people like that.
Well, we thought it was a public thing.
That's what. Yeah.
We didn't think that there.
Yeah,
was
I didn't know he had to get
us.
He had to get us writbands. But the thing is, though, there was a gate, and we didn't even. You could just stand outside the gate,
and you can still listen to it.
Yeah, but I think what my takeaway from the show is how strange Kenyon College is. Like,
that's the main thing.
Like more so than the music, I was more intrigued by like the people there. Just like
I was extremely fascinated by the people.
Just like I assume they're all like kind of rich East Coasters who want to live like the bucolic lifestyle in like the Ohio wilderness, and they go to this little tiny private college like in Ohio, middle of nowhere, and like
which is really
do drugs.
It's really strange to me because it's like they're wanting to get away from the people that they're used to being around. But if all of those people go to the same location, they're still around the same people. Yeah.
They all want to like go to like write Walden. Like they just want to like live in the woods and like write the next like beautiful poetry piece. Like I don't understand. Yeah, that's what they all want to be.
But it's like a beautiful campus. That was another takeaway. It was like it was just like in a forest almost, pretty much. It was like
and, like gorgeous Gothic architecture. It's a pretty campus. But yeah, that was a fun show.
Yeah, so that was sophomore year then. Okay, so my timeline is already fucked up. I have no idea.
Matt, for me, so this is the next one I have. Odd Future.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay, cool.
So was that sophomore year? That was like
Odd Future was junior year because Ian was with us, and it was like early junior year, like one of the first shows of junior year.
Okay, yeah, that's how I did my timeline too. I was like, all right, was Ian with us? Then it was probably junior year.
Yeah, but I know you asked me if Weezer was my favorite concert, and I wasn't able to say that. Odd Future is definitely my least favorite show I've ever been to. Like that is definitive.
I was gonna ask you guys like, what's your least favorite? It was up there. Like the sound quality was terrible.
Yeah,
like that was the main thing for me at least.
And like I know I was there for mainly Earl, and I don't know about you, Matt, but like Earl didn't even show up. He didn't. He like had a fight with Tyler, the creator.
Yeah, that was like the whole free Earl thing. Right?
Yeah, and And
yeah, that show was kind of a bummer.
And like the other, like I felt like we were one of the older people there. Like a lot of the kids there were in high school, and it looked like it was like baby's first show, and they were like all trying to like punch each other and shit, and like, and when they were taking too long to come out, there was like all this like I wouldn't say fighting, but like aggressive like shoving between people going on, and it was just I was just not having it really. I just wanted to see some like chill rap music, and it didn't happen.
I would say like the sound quality thing. Like I would say of all the music venues I've been to, Newport like fucks up the sound most often.
That is very true. Newport, can't get those levels right. They were just like the vocals there were just so drowned out by the beat. It was like you can't even hear what they're saying.
Yeah, that was awful. Oh, but also talking about shows that we went to with Ian, a Birdie Nom Nom and Uzi in Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah,
that amazing. Was sick. When is that one on your list? That had to have been junior year, right?
No, it's like that is definitely junior year, and it comes after. I saw Bad Religion and Jeff Mangum, I think before that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know you guys weren't with me for either of those.
Nope.
So I think the next one that we went to all together was definitely that Birdie Nom Nom show.
Mm-hmm.
That was sick. That was awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Birdie Nom Nom if you guys have never heard them before. Seriously great DJs. They use all vinyl, like actually to do their mixes. I think they're probably kind of popular at this point now, aren't they? Because they did some stuff with Skrillex and other bigger names.
But just to see that live, actually see them mixing live, like with their turntables out in front of them, like each one of them.
And they don't come to America like ever, and so that was a huge deal.
Yeah.
But that was my first Detroit, Michigan experience too.
Same.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Like driving past like the empty buildings downtown.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, when we went, it was like nighttime, and we pull up, and there's just like. You go through the industrial part of Detroit, and there's just fire in the distance.
It's like literally a gate to hell. It's like there's just burning gas coming out of the ground.
Welcome to Detroit.
It's like, holy shit, the stories are true. And we also got off on the wrong exit, too, and like just went through essentially an urban desert. Like, every house was decrepit, and like, it was bad.
Like, not every part of Detroit is bad, but it's so funny that you guys, like, took the exit on the bad part.
Yeah, we're like, what the hell?
Lovely place. Lovely place.
Well, we were out until, like, sunrise that night, too, I feel like.
We were out a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a wild night.
Yeah.
But if we backtrack just, like, a little bit, well, I saw Lollapalooza, I think, was the summer after freshman year.
Oh, you went to Lolla?
Yeah. I only went 1 year, I think, but I saw Justice, Jack White, Tallest Man on Earth. That was the first time I saw him. Chili Peppers were one of the headliners. Then like Bass Nectar, Zed's Dead. That was like that was also at the peak of like electronic and stuff when we were like really into that.
That's an awesome lineup. That'd be an awesome show to see.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like that got me into like so many new artists like at the time, for sure. Dude, but then like sophomore year, I think I at least went to like a bunch of electronic shows that I do not remember. Sophomore and junior year, like I don't remember. I think I saw RL Grind, but I can't be sure. Like I really don't know.
So I was this morning when I was like compiling this list of all the shows I've ever been to. I was looking through an email address and I wanted to ask you about it, Matt. Did you? Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Because it was an electronic show at the Bluestone. And this was in, well, I guess this is way later, actually. It was in 2014. Have you ever heard of the band Grammatic? Did you go to us with this?
No, I think I did.
I think we all went to that, because there was a time where I went to the Bluestone for like Matt was saying, for an electronic show that I don't remember, really.
Yeah, I was just looking through my tickets. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Was that like New Year's? I think I've gone to like 2 New Year shows at the Bluestone, but I don't really remember.
This was in April, so the ticket said April 16th of 2014.
I think so. I think I did though. I'm pretty sure.
It was like right before we graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like right before graduation, pretty much. Okay, but when did we see Against Me?
All right, so I have Rancid first and then Against Me, but
you're right.
It could be flip flopped.
No, I'm pretty sure we saw Rancid first.
I think we saw Rancid first.
I would put both Rancid and Against Me in my top 10 as well.
Absolutely,
probably above Weezer for sure. And this goes to say the intimate setting makes a show way better, and just like how close like everybody was in that pit to these like Rancid is a huge band, and so is Against Me, but
Sure.
like we're like just right up there with them and stuff. It's not an arena.
Mm-hmm.
I know that both of them could probably sell out an arena or close to a smaller arena, probably.
Yeah.
But like,
well, I mean, but Against Me used to do arenas. I think we probably saw them when they were not quite as popular
as they
like
yeah,
sure.
and like when we were in high school, they were probably way more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When like Thrash Unreal
Mhm.
came out, that's probably was like their peak of mainstream popularity. But,
but they're like the perfect size for Newport. That's like a show that was like perfect. For
and
Newport.
because Rancid's older, you got all like the old punks there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it was those were two. I guess I'll just lump them together because they came so close to each other. Those are just two great punk shows.
Right. Plus, anytime Matt loses a shoe in the mosh pit, it's a great show.
Did you lose your shoe at both of them?
I don't know about Rancid, but definitely Against Me. I think I love both shoes on like separate occasions.
Yeah, I remember after. I can't remember which one it was after, but like all three of our shirts had gotten like ruined essentially, and we were just. It was raining outside. And we were just walking all the way back to our house like with no shirts on, and like just basically like bloodied almost and like beaten up like from the mosh pit like. It was.
What was that one? I don't remember, but we were like, it was just like so sweaty. It's like I can't wear this.
I think
anymore.
that was Rancid.
I think it was Rancid. Yeah, like our shirts were literally like as had reached like peak, like maximum
on,
wetness,
stretched out.
Yeah,
wet.
it's disgusting. Yeah, fucking great shows, and I haven't been to a mosh pit like that in a little while. Like I would love to.
Menzingers was probably the
Menzingers was the last one like that.
No, the most recent one was probably White Reaper.
Yeah.
Oh
White
yeah,
Reaper
you're right. But even then, I didn't get as sweaty. Like as some Rancid has such a large catalog of music to play. Like they could play for hours and hours and hours. Like, and I feel like those. I'm not sure about Against Me, but I feel like the Rancid show was particularly long. Like,
yeah, that was a really good one. Dude, Trey, when did we see We Are Scientists in Pause? That with Ian.
Right. So that had to have been probably junior year, right?
It had to have been.
Had to have been because Ian was still living with us at the time.
I think that was my first time at the Basement, which is now like I think the Basement and A&R Music Bar, like two sides of the same coin. Probably like my favorite venue in Columbus.
I would have to say the Basement is my favorite. A&R has a really annoying pillar that if you get stuck behind it, you can't see the band.
Yeah, true.
and people will shush you there.
We were shushed.
Comment in the comment sections if you've ever been shushed at a punk show before.
We're being too loud. But no, We Are Scientists was awesome. That's like the Basement is such a good venue because there's just a small pit with a little staircase behind it, and then there's like it's basically like a hallway. So it's like the width of a hallway, but you can just everything is pointing at the end, and the stage is right at the end, so you can see pretty much everything from wherever you're standing in that venue. But then if you get down in the pit, there's just like a small little mosh pit. And
does Express own both of those?
I don't know if Express does. They're all part of what's that called? Promo West Live.
Promo West.
Yeah.
So that's the Basement, A&R, and Express Live.
But like
L
Brands owns Express like Live, don't they? Or they just have their name on it.
It's either sponsor. It might be just sponsors.
Okay.
Because it used to be Lifestyle Communities.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah. Does that bring us up? Are we into 2014 now? Are we into senior year?
This is. I think we're past. Like I think we're past senior year. Against Me was the last one that I have until I go to Cleveland and have my most shameful concert experience.
Wait, which one's that?
That's foreshadowing.
Zach Brown Band.
Oh.
Is that 2015?
I was lonely and looking for friends, and went to a Zach Brown Band on a party bus with a bunch of people I didn't know, and it was horrible. And I wanted to get drunk, but the beers there cost like $10, so I was sad.
And broke.
That is sad.
Yeah.
But Riley, were you there when we went to that Halloween Halloween show, the Beluga Whale the Beluga
No,
Whale Halloween?
Oh man,
like how you refer to it.
2015.
No, I diverged from you guys that night. I think I went.
I did too. We were on the
Me
same.
Me and Trey
bus.
went, like, got off the bus at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up going to some house parties and some college house parties and stuff, and that was
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Well, Encore and I had a bomb time at that show.
yeah.
But
And that was at the
was
Bluestone
that-
as well.
No,
That was
no.
at the convention center.
Oh, it was at the
Yeah.
convention center. Okay, yeah, that was. I get.
Was
okay.
that during OhioCon or was that some other
It was-
convention?
It was like a
No, it was
Halloween
just like a
thing.
Halloween party thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
No,
was-
I did not go to.
They
that.
did have, like, people were dressed up because it was Halloween, obviously. But... Okay, so when did we see, like, Hop Along in Joyce Manor?
So this is further down the line, and this is where I say we all started getting into more of like the new wave of emo sort of.
Yeah.
Is when this is kind of when that started, and we started going to like smaller shows like that, and this sort of new renaissance of punk and emo music sort of came around.
Which
but-
one did we see first? Do you remember?
Hop Along,
Let me look here.
I believe.
No, I think we saw Joyce Manor first.
I think we saw Joyce Manor first, and then did we see Hop Along, and then the next day we saw Animal Collective?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or was
Yeah,
it the
that
same?
was
week?
great.
It was not the same.
It was not the same night. We saw
No.
them the next days. But yeah,
But we were up in Cleveland and then had to get back to
Yeah.
Columbus for the Animal Collective.
yeah. So I was living up in Cleveland at the time, and you guys came and visited me,
Right.
and we went and saw this Joyce Manor show, which was awesome. Who was opening for them? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know about the opener, but their concert was awesome.
That
I
was
would
so
say
much
Joyce
fun.
Manor was probably one of my top 10, maybe
Yeah.
top 5.
And I'll also
it
say
was that awesome.
The Grog Shop needs to be mentioned here as
Yeah.
one of my, if not my favorite venue of all time.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably my favorite venue. Like, I've only been to 3 shows there, but probably
Yeah.
Yeah,
every
and
single one has been excellent.
The sound is always excellent.
Mhm.
The crowd, it's like the perfect size. The crowd is always into the music, and it's got like history as like a Cleveland venue, like Cleveland with like rock and roll music and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's an awesome place.
And you got to hang on the bar.
Yeah, and they have an I-beam that you can hang off of, and it's fun.
Yeah, I think Joyce Manor was the one where, like, my phone, like, ended up on
Oh
stage
my-
somehow.
Yeah,
or
you lost
something.
stuff all the time.
You need like a Velcro outfit when you go to shows, dude.
Losing shoes
Yeah, we
and
were
phones.
looking for your phone after the concert for a long time.
Yeah.
I know.
And you found it.
And
We
then-
found it eventually.
I found it. I went back to the bar and they had it. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was on stage. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. And so the next one we did see together was also at Grog Shop, and it was Hop Along.
Mm-hmm.
Another excellent show, top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, that girl's
Just like
voice,
their
it's
sound.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing how accurate.
I
the
did not know
recording
that.
is.
It's insane that she was able to get recording studio quality vocals it live. It was especially with how graspy and they are.
Yeah. That was unreal.
But that
And
kind
then
of yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to go ahead. Did you have anything else to say for
No, I was just
Hop
gonna
Along?
say we almost never got to see Hop Along because we were going to see them in Columbus, and then they canceled. Do you remember that?
Barely.
Vaguely.
Maybe it was only me that was going to see them, but yeah. And then,
Oh, okay.
but then they were able to like reschedule to Cleveland or something. It ended up being okay in the end.
I'm so glad we went to that. That was
Yeah.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Animal Collective in Columbus. That was just crazy that we did both of those twice in a row.
Yeah. It was unfortunate we were a little late. We didn't get to see very much, but the set was insane.
Yeah.
They had all those like blow up things
And, like,
with crazy faces,
like paper mache
painted on 'em.
faces and stuff. Yeah.
They're the theatrics in that at that show were
And
strange.
I didn't realize it, but Animal Collective has an insane fan base. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there were some dudes there that were going apeshit, like, to these songs, and like even like to like the weirdest, like trippiest, like interlude moments. They were like, ugh, like, like they were just going. I don't know what kind of drugs
That
they were
music
on, but
will
like,
change a person. I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
But there were some people that were like literally enthralled by every single second of that show, which power to them. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we into 2015 now?
Yes,
we haven't.
this
Hop Long was 2016, so sure.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, we're past 2015.
Okay. I really don't know.
We jumped over a big portion of the time where I was in Cleveland. I don't know what you guys were doing here in Columbus.
Well, that's what I was trying to.
I know you guys went to see Forecastle or something, right?
Oh well, that
that was 2015, right, Trey?
What's that?
We went to Forecastle summer of 2015.
Summer 2015, yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. We saw Kaiza, Diarrhea Planet, Tallest Man on Earth, Houndmouth,
Always, yep.
What else?
The Revivalists were there. We saw who else? The Decemberists played, I think, but we didn't really watch them.
No, I don't know. We just saw like a bunch of really good ones.
It was amazing.
Wait, you know one that we did skip over? White Reaper, Diet Sig, the Thermals, and then Diet Sig again.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering when that one was.
Yeah. That was before. That was.
Was that pre-Cleveland?
That was before.
That was before Hop Along.
Was it really?
I have it on my list as before Hop Along, but yeah, it kind of meshes together.
I don't know, but you were living in Cleveland though, right, Riley?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you came for like the weekend?
Yeah, it's after Joyce Manor, but before Hop Along and Animal Collective.
This was a crazy day.
This was an excellent day, yeah.
That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so to set it up for people, like, this was 4th and 4th Fest that they moved to Ace of Cups. It wasn't on, actually, 4th Street. But, like, the notable bands that we saw were Diet Sig, the Thermals, and White Reaper. And then there was, like, an after-party show just, like, in this house. And we saw Diet Sig in a basement.
It was a basement show, yeah, and it was...
crowded. We go downstairs, and the ceiling was barely tall enough for you to stand in.
On, yeah.
And
but also like Diet Sig was just like there, like mingling with people too. That was sick.
Yeah, you could go up and like play pool with them. And,
yeah. And the thing that made me really sad about it though was that it was on the street that we used to live on, and that like Punk House didn't exist at the time. Like I feel like we would have been there more.
Yeah, for sure. I had no idea. Where does that like basement show rank for you guys? Because that was just like one of the like I don't know like as far as the actual like music itself, I don't know if I would rank it so high, but like just that like in that kind of
because you guys
had
you seen Diet Sig like twice
before,
at this point?
Yeah.
So like I mean it was intimate. Obviously, it was cool. I remember being like nervous to talk to her and stuff, but like that was about it. Like, oh, are you in a band?
So you guys playing here too? Or?
But yeah, that was awesome. And seeing the Thermals after I don't know about you guys, but like I had loved the Thermals for a long time, and seeing them play was sick. And then this was the first time I got to see White Reaper, who will become a reoccurrence for us in the future. One of our favorite bands, I think.
This is significant because I think I've seen White Reaper and Diet Sig probably like tied for the most.
Yeah,
absolutely. We just saw Diet Sig so many times in like 1 year that
they kept coming back to Columbus.
They must love us.
Like 4 times a year.
Mm-hmm. But
dude,
so something about that basement show. We were talking about like how a smaller crowd, more intimate show makes it better. That's like as small as you get. Is that the best?
That's like because that was uncomfortably small.
Yeah.
Like,
is there a little bell curve to that where he comes back on the bad side?
Yeah. It's like what is it? It's like it's a right shifted like bell curve. Like you don't want to go over it too much.
But I did appreciated the experience of it. You know.
Absolutely.
It was not like I wouldn't want to always see a show like that, but it was amazing to like be a part of it once.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most
Trey, I was thinking there was a bunch of shows that we went to like when we had just moved into like the View.
We did.
Greeting Committee. Do you remember Greeting Committee?
Greeting Committee. I do not have that one on my list. That was a great show. That was another one in the basement. I knew that I had seen some more bands there, but I couldn't really remember.
Yeah. Also, the first time we saw White Reaper was at the basement. That was sick.
No, that was at A&R.
Oh, A&R, my bad,
Yeah. But that was awesome. That was a great show. We taught kids how to mosh.
Like little kids?
Like young high school kids that were like timid about about music and
how do you teach
being in the pit.
Do you teach them to mosh by like fucking throwing them into
it's real
it?
easy. You just push a mat into a small kid, and then they push back. So that's how it starts.
That was so much fun. And greeting committee was like a Monday or something. It was like one of the CD 1025 Lodo shows.
Yep.
But
I didn't think that I'd heard of them before. Huh?
Work the next day was awful.
Oh yeah.
I spent like $30 in beers at that show or something.
Oh my god, they were probably all like $2 PBRs.
He drank 15
it was all like
beers.
Miller Tall Boys or something.
All right.
What's the next one then?
Is it
okay?
I have Cloud Nothings as our next one as all together.
Which one?
The Cloud Nothings at A&R.
A&R, yep.
Yeah.
I saw Skawshank Redemption before that, but I don't know if you guys were there or not.
I saw Skawshank at Shrunken Head.
This was in Cleveland, so you guys weren't there. Okay.
No, I didn't see that one.
But yeah, Cloud Nothings is the next, because I had basically just moved back to Cleveland or Columbus at this time. And I think this is the first one we all went to together after I came back. So
yeah,
and I got
stuck. And I got.
You got what?
I got shushed.
Yeah, that was the infamous shushing event.
But that was so the opener. Let's
talk
about the opener.
The opener was it was like the most dichotomous opener for the Cloud Nothings. It was like a 80s like chill wave,
electronic kind of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were literally just DJs like pressing play. I swear, like they were just pressing play on their iPod pretty much.
And it wasn't even like good. It was like
we were just having a conversation. The guy turns around and is like, shh. Like, please don't talk during this.
Yeah, please don't talk during the performance. I'm tripping. But yeah, and so then we went outside, like it was, and we like where all the other like Cloud Nothings fans were, and we just chat talk like whatever the opener was for the next like 30 minutes.
Yeah, we ended up like talking to these people, and we were like, so you think these guys suck too?
And everyone's like, yeah, like, I thought we were the only ones.
So actually props that Shush guy for bringing us together with other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we would rather stand out in the freezing cold than listen to that music more. Like it was like, I'm trying to recall more about that, but
I really can't. We got pretty messed up, but that show was really good. Like Cloud Nothings was awesome.
Yeah,
but their sound was like a little bit off, though. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a little loud.
But so that was the second time I'd seen the Cloud Nothings, and they always close with that song that's like, I thought I would be more, and that they always like string it out for like 15 minutes, and they just go nuts. I love that as a closer.
So epic.
Mm-hmm.
That
was another one where we're all sweaty and shit leaving.
Yeah.
Those are the best ones, though. Those are always the best ones.
All right, and then after that, Matt, I think it was Roswell Kid, Jeff Rosenstock, and the Menzingers, which I may place as #1 concert of all time.
I think I might put it #1 too.
Of all time.
Yeah, I think so, man. Yeah. Definitely top 3 for sure. That was excellent.
Mm-hmm. And we were just speaking about acoustics, like the Metro in Chicago where we saw this. It was like they got the sound like perfect.
So perfect, like literally like studio.
It was like a Newport-sized, if not a little bit bigger than Newport-sized venue, but the acoustics were like 1,000 times better than anything I'd ever heard at the Newport.
And that really made the show.
Mm-hmm.
And because we didn't know who Roswell Kid was, but they put on a sick show.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of like chilled while Jeff Rosenstock like did an amazing set.
Yeah.
And then when Menzingers played, it just went absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got dropped on my like head. I had blood all over my shirt after like I was done. I don't know if it was mine or not. Well, like...
yeah. I almost passed out from just like being drunk and yelling every single lyric.
Yeah. The Menzingers is one of those bands that we know every lyric to every one of their songs, and yeah, it's so fun, and everybody else there loved them too. Like you could tell the whole crowd just loved it.
Yeah.
And that was like a little adventure, like that. What made that night even better was it was like a road trip for us. Like we went up and like had this sweet Airbnb in Chicago, and we were like watching Jeopardy at like some shitty local bar like until the show started. Like that was a fun day. Like I like that a lot.
That was just overall that experience was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The show, everything before and after.
Yeah, and speaking of the Menzingers, you're gonna see them in Germany. Like I need to know the difference between like a German audience for the Menzingers versus an American one.
I'm so curious to know. Also, I think this will be my first ever concert by myself.
Oh
Have
yeah,
you guys ever been to a concert just by yourself?
I haven't. No.
No, yeah, I've always been.
I'm
with somebody
super
else.
interested to see what the experience will be like. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you think you'll go as Ham by yourself?
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I won't.
It's hard to unless you have like. You usually like start with your friends. You fuck around with them. You push them a little bit, and then you end up like getting into the main.
It depends
munch.
on the crowd. If everyone else is though, then I'll do it. But I don't want to get like super fucked up either because I have like
Then you're all
no
alone.
one to save me if something goes wrong.
Don't lose your
true.
shoes, dude. Nobody will help you.
I gotta double lace my shoes this time.
This is fun. This is a kind of a tangent, but like me and Trey went to this like very local, like I don't know, was it Battle of the Bands or something the other night at this place on 5th. Matt, do you recall King, the 5 on King bar or something?
Oh, this place, yeah.
I've been there, but I've never seen music.
Yeah,
there.
we went to see this. We went to see this like I don't know what it was. It was a bunch of bands from Columbus playing.
Oh, it was amazing.
And
it was like almost revival music of
early
the bands that you would have listened to in high school.
It was like early pop punk emo like.
It's like the high school bands that we used to listen to go to small shows around our hometowns. They grew up and didn't stop doing it.
Yeah, these guys were like 40
That's amazing.
and like still doing screamo music, and there was like 4 people there, like plus me and Trey, and then Trey just started like moshing by himself, like in the front. Like it was hilarious. And then I went and started pushing you, and we were like the only 2 people like pushing each other.
You're just trying to have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
But that just reminded me of like going to a concert by yourself and whether or not you would jump in by yourself. And Trey obviously would if he had enough beer.
Yeah, all right, but another road trip was White Reaper. That was just this year, right? Summer 2017.
Yeah, that was white. That kind of jumps forward a little bit. I was gonna say before that we saw. Do you want to go on chronological or road trip path?
No, go chronological. What was in between
for me?
that?
After that, I have. Was it sports and Diet Sig? Or was it?
Yeah,
or was it
remember.
White
That's
Reaper?
what I was going to say. I had them somewhere.
Or Pine Grove. These kind of all. I think Pine Grove was after
kind
sports.
Of up together.
Yeah,
Pine Grove was
I
after
think
White
Pine
Reaper,
Grove was after.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I think it was sports and Diet Sig before White Reaper.
Yeah, I think so. But Pine Grove was notable because it was at Park Street. That was the first time I'd ever been to that.
Yeah, and that was, and to me in my head, Park Street is always like kind of a bro-y place to go. But yeah, Pine Grove was playing, which is like the anti-bros.
Yeah, they were really good, though.
I did not like that venue.
No,
I
the
don't like
bar
the venue.
splits up.
Yeah, the bar splits the stage,
Yeah.
the pit area.
It's almost halfway between the door and the stage.
It creates this
it
horrible.
bubbles into.
It creates a horrible bottleneck, so you can't actually, if you're not there super early, you can't get to like closer to the stage. You're like trapped in the back. Like,
I
I'm
had
not
only
a
been
fan
there
of the
one
venue.
other time.
Okay, but before I forget, have you guys ever listened to Mets?
Mets, M-E-T-Z.
Mets, M-E-T-Z.
It's
No.
why is it? Have you talked about
Sounds
them before? Because they do sound familiar.
No, I
feel like
haven't
you've
talked to them
about
before, but they have to have been in like your recommended artists or something.
it. Okay.
But they're going to be in Madrid next weekend, so I think we're going to go see that one. I'm not like a huge fan of their music, but maybe I'll get into it if I go.
Sweet.
You're seeing some good music while you're out there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, I'm trying. There's really not that many like good bands on tour right now that are coming to Madrid specifically. But I'm like, it's like a good reason to go fly to other cities in Europe is to like go see a concert or something, you know.
But I would like to. One of the notable things about the Pine Grove show is one of the openers. They all put their instruments down and started reading passages from books during one of it. I was like, this is the most pretentious shit I've ever seen. And the dude who had an instrument, it was a speak and say, and he was making it spell like, I don't know, pretentious phrases and stuff. Like, I was like, really?
You know how we were talking about how good theatrics make a good show?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's like that was a little overboard. You're trying too hard there, buds. Yeah. I guess the only thing that was really notable about the sports and Diet Sig thing was that Diet Sig blew a speaker or something, and it was like it ruined the second half of their performance. I felt like.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, were you not
that was
there,
the
Trey?
first time I'd ever been to Roomba Cafe.
Yeah.
Did you like that? I like that venue.
Yeah, no, it was nice beyond the screwed up speaker. But yeah, but definitely the next big one that we were all together with was No Parents / White Reaper in Cincinnati. That's another.
I got pretty sweaty for that one.
Yeah.
Because Trey and I started moshing during No Parents.
No Parents was the best surprise of my life. Like, it was, I was like, this band is called No Parents. How good can they be? They were pretty damn good. I like them.
Yeah.
They were definitely a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, so like guilty pleasure emo music.
Yeah.
Plus, your friends can hang.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of. I was at the beginning of this podcast. I was saying that a lot of my friends from high school didn't like the music that I liked, and this was sort of a reunion with them. And they came to the show with us, and they were moshing with the rest of them. And some of them I'd never even probably thought had listened to this kind of music in their life were just taking cues and just jumping in there, and that was pretty awesome. I enjoyed that.
That was part of what made it so much fun was that we had like a legit like gang of people.
Had a crew.
There was like 10 people that came with us or something.
And we had also drank a lot of very nice bourbon right before in a little tiny crappy apartment like in downtown Cincinnati.
It was great though. The pit was awesome because no matter who you're bouncing off of, you're going to be in sight of one of your friends. Like
because it was like the venue was like a hallway. It was like. Like that sound effect means hallway.
Next means rectangular room.
yeah, for those just listening, you don't have the video podcast.
What was the name of that venue? Do you remember?
Shit.
Wasn't it technically Kentucky?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was in Kentucky. I'm going to edit it in right now.
Madison Live.
All right, we're back after editing in that venue name. Let's see, and then I think the last one we all saw together is Big Ups.
Big Ups.
Good one to go out on.
Mm-hmm.
Sad news about the venue as well.
Yeah, and sadly one of the coolest venues in Columbus is closing. Double Happiness that housed Big Ups. Like we were literally. Essentially, you're on the stage. Essentially, when you're at that place, like the stage is like a 2 inches off the ground, it's just right in front of the.
Yeah, it's also like a hallway.
Yeah, it's also just a hallway.
With there are stair steps up, so there are like 3 or 4 levels of that place, but then everything kind of funnels down and focuses onto the stage as you walk down this hall.
Yeah, it really was just like a bar that had stage for music for people to play music on.
Yeah, I will recount my funny story from this night though. It was right before Big Ups was supposed to go on, and I like was in the bathroom taking a piss, and the stall door of that, like there's a urinal and then there's a stall door. The stall door is not attached to the stall; it's just a plank of plywood that you have to like hold on your lap while you're shitting. And there was a guy in there shitting. I was like, "What the hell?" And he came out, and we were both washing our hands next to each other, and I didn't know who it was. And then we went down the stairs together, and like then Trey and Matt and I were all queued up in the pit area, and then the same guy who was shitting with the cardboard or the plywood on top of him was the lead singer of Big Ups, and he told this story at the very beginning. He's like, when you're on tour and you just have to shit about 11 times a day, like this was one of those days. And then he just went into the set. Like I was just cracking up. Yeah.
Dude, but he was so good live. He was so animated.
It was
Very
great.
animated.
I had never seen like his stage presence was so awesome, and like his like just his movement around. There was a time where he like went outside, like and was like screaming out people like on the patio
in the very beginning because like they just started their set and he was trying to get people in.
Yeah. He was like lying on the ground. There's one the one that sticks out to me most was he like dropped the microphone on the floor and then just fell down next to it and was just screaming into it on the ground. Like he wasn't even holding the microphone; it was just on the floor and he was just on all fours yelling into it. Like
he's just always doing something, always moving. He had very odd like hand motions and things and stuff when he was.
It was probably
he was like yelling at us in the crowd. Like he would go right up to people's faces.
He would just get because it was such a small venue and like it was basically the stage. Yeah, he was just like right next to you the whole time.
He might be like my favorite front person I've ever seen.
And he's got it down. It's like if you're gonna be a front man and not play an instrument or something, you have to be interesting on stage. Like, and he definitely
perform some other way than just
exactly. Because when you're not singing, if you're just standing there, it's kind of boring. Like, that's probably I would put that in my top 5, maybe top 3 shows. I really, really, really love that show.
Definitely up there.
Because I had been digging Big Ups for a long time, and I thought it was going to be packed. I thought there was going to be tons of people there. There was like the majority of the people at the show were the other bands playing, and
fans, just fans, probably less than 20 people.
Yeah, definitely less than 20 actual fans who weren't like openers.
They should have played Atheist Self Help though.
But they couldn't because the bass string broke, remember?
Right. Dude, but the thing is you can play it with a broken bass string.
Did he break his top string or his low string?
Like his was it G string.
He broke his G string?
His G?
Yeah.
I mean, you could play everything on one fret if you really needed to, but like it's too difficult.
What did he say? He's like, "Oh, sorry, we're not that good anymore."
I feel like it's so fast they just like didn't want to play it.
Yeah.
But you could totally like all you had to change was like one note or something in that song. It's really like I think they could have done it, but
they played some good ones though.
They played everything else that I wanted to hear. That was sick.
I hope that they come out with a new album soon or start releasing some singles because it's been quite some time since their sophomore album.
Oh yeah, dude! Hey, great tie-in into our best of 2017.
Oh
That'll be one of our anticipated albums.
Best of 2017 coming up here, folks.
Yeah,
get ready.
We got to do that one. I mean, soon-ish.
Yeah,
in December. We'll do it.
Yeah, we were late last time, so yeah, we should definitely do that by it should be our December podcast essentially.
Did you start a list already, or kind of mentally?
I actually had not even thought about it until you said something about it. So, 2017. Just as a teaser, I feel like 2015 and 2016 were like watershed years in great music. I can't quite recall the ones that I loved so much in 2017. I think it was a slower year, but I'll have to look back and see. I may be forgetting.
I would say it's kind of like front loaded. 2017 was front loaded.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't been too enthralled by many things that have been coming out very recently.
Yeah, but when I did actually yesterday go back and start looking at it briefly, and there are some good ones that came out like over the summer and more recently. But yeah, I would say we'll talk about it in the next episode more.
And
all right,
I think we hit the hour and 8-minute mark right now. I think we did a pretty good job on time. So
that was fun. I'm glad we did this one. Like,
that was really fun.
So
just
much fun to reminisce.
Yeah, just to get it all. Yeah, it was fun to like try to remember them all.
Oh my gosh!
And then go through them.
I have like 44 something concerts that I went to, and it just took so much effort this morning to pull this list together.
Yeah.
Trying to put them in order was just a stupid activity.
I originally had them chronologically trying to do like high school, like college, and then like post-college. I gave up.
Yeah.
Everything is like so blended together that
the only thing I could do was like, all right, who was with me and where was I living?
Right.
That's like a reference.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was really fun to like think about and remember like all the crazy concerts we went to.
So the craziest one that I went to Modest Mouse the day of knee surgery.
Oh yeah, and you got the handicap spot.
Right. So like I had knee surgery like that day, and I was really upset that I was going to miss Modest Mouse. And my dad ended up renting a wheelchair for me. Like I had been through the surgery. It was early in the morning. I went home, like ate a bunch of pain pills, and I was like, I still have to go to this concert. So my dad like dropped me off in a wheelchair that he rented, and like I pushed myself like up into the concert.
He didn't even push you. He just like left you there.
He couldn't get in. He didn't
okay, you just see yourself.
No, but Kelsey was there though. She met me there.
Yeah,
and like helped me through like the venue, and then this guy, like a security guy, was like, "You want to get up to the handicap spot?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So he grabbed my chair, and like the LC has a huge grass hill with there's cement walkways up. So he like pushed me all the way up this like pretty decent sized grass hill, and then you just sit like you sit up around the upper rim and watch from like way up high, and but it was kind of nice. I had like a little chair the whole time. And my leg propped up. I was feeling good on painkillers.
It's like bringing your own lawn chair.
Yeah, that moves. Like you can go like just right up.
Yeah, you'll never forget that one. You know.
Oh yeah, that was probably one of my more favorite concert experiences, even though I don't remember much of it.
Yeah. All right, I have to throw one last one out. When Preston DJ'd at JP's Halloween party.
We're gonna count these as concerts. Dude, I did
that one because it's so funny.
I do specifically remember this. Wait. Was this the one where Ian got in trouble with the cops because he was wearing the Jake the Dog mask? He's like, "Hey, Banana Man." Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, is that all we got?
Yep, that's all we got. We're gonna sign off here.
Okay, listeners, tell us your favorite concerts.
Yeah, and a comment, like, subscribe. It really helps us out. Comment, what's your favorite concert you ever been to?
Yeah, tell us.
Yum, I'm looking at you, baby.
The only one who might